And we're live. Good morning, everyone. This is podcast 5 as part of the series of the Elevate podcast. As you know, my Instagram is at Howtodunk. So, in today's podcast, I'm going to be talking a bit about my experience with vertical jump training and exactly what I did to increase my vertical jump. And I'll also talk a bit about my live stream from last week, which was, if you guys didn't see, it was the 10 best exercises in my opinion from a plyometric standpoint to increase your vertical. So I'm going to go over each of those exercises again. And finally, I'll tell you guys a bit about an exciting project I have coming up. I've started writing up my own vertical jump program. It's going to be called the Elevate Jump Program, and this is going to be phase 1. So I'll talk a bit about that towards the end of the podcast. So yeah, let's dive into it. So, my experience with vertical jump training. So just a bit of background history. I got into vertical jump training back in, I would say, early 2010. So I started watching the NBA end of 2009, and I really fell in love with the sport. I felt like it was really exciting. There's a lot of action, a lot going on, and it was a cool sport to follow. It was very interesting to watch. And yeah, so I just started off, I guess, playing basketball at the local courts, and I really like to dribble a lot and take cool jump shots, and what kids do when they first get into playing basketball. And then we'd be playing with a group of people who they'd be they'd be jumping high, they'd be catching good rebounds. Some of them would be grabbing the rim. Some of them would even be dunking, and I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. So like I was new, like I knew what a slam dunk was, but I haven't really seen it like live in person. So when I started seeing it, I realized, oh wow, like this takes talent to do. Like this isn't easy. There's got to be something that these guys are doing. And my initial analysis of it was, oh wow, look, they're just tall, they can do it. And that's kind of what I believed. I'm like, nah, this is only for tall people. I didn't understand that. I guess shorter people could learn to increase their vertical and jump high and eventually dunk. Like I'm like, if you're not 6'5" and above, like forget it. That was my initial thoughts on it. So yeah, as I got more into basketball and started seeing people at the local courts jumping high and dunking, I went on YouTube and I came across this channel called Team Flight Brothers, and there was a whole bunch of these athletes that were part of this squad, and they were all very like different mixed heights. Some of them were really tall. There was a few guys who were my height and doing these amazing, crazy dunks. Like there was one guy called T-Dub, I think. He was 5'9", and his videos had like millions of views, and he was doing these absolutely insane dunks. Like he was doing East Bays and um, double clutch dunks, and he's 5'9", and this guy was jumping incredibly high. He was jumping, I think his vertical was like 52 inches or 54 inches or something. Yeah, it was nuts. It was something spectacular to watch. So that really caught my eye into the whole vertical jump scene. Just watching T-Dub dunk and throw down explosive, 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 crazy dunks. So I was in ninth grade in school, and I was playing basketball as part of sport. And the more and more I was playing a lot. The more and more I played, I could see just by playing and watching these videos and getting pumped up, and trying to catch high rebounds. I could see that slowly I started jumping higher and higher. I guess just from the hype of it. But also, what I wanted to say is I grew up playing competitive tennis, so I was I want to say very athletic, but I was pretty athletic, and I was doing a lot of bodyweight training and push-ups and stuff, so I had an athletic base. I feel like that's important to say, because I remember I got a basketball ring in my backyard. This was back in 2010 as well, and I don't know, I think we installed it at like 9 feet or something. We couldn't move it after that. But the backboard was pretty high, so like we'd keep jumping and touching spots on the backboard. And I remember one time I actually was curious to measure my jump because I was watching all these YouTube videos and they would say how to measure your jump. So I think I was measured somewhere like 26 or 28 inches. And that was just like when I was playing basketball and stuff. I didn't even know about plyometrics and all that training yet. So I guess that was naturally my vertical jump based on my athletic background and all my tennis training and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And my first experience with vertical jump training was I stumbled across a program called Air Alert and I found a free PDF to download. I think it was the first one. And yeah, I found this workout chart. I'm like, oh look, this is pretty cool. 10 weeks of this, and apparently I'll be gaining 8 to 14 inches on my vertical. I'm like, oh wow, this is crazy. Let's start. So literally the next day I started. So the program was like 3 days a week, and it was fun in the beginning. But the problem with that program is after like week 5 or 6, the reps go ridiculously high. Like they had like different names for their exercises, but a lot of them were like I can't remember the first one, but it was equivalent to a squat jump. And at the beginning it was like 20, 30 reps. Like I used to get crazy leg burns from them. Like 30 reps of squat jumps is insane. And then like after week 5 it was going up to like 50, 60, like 70, 80. I'm like, okay, all right, like there's a catch. So I don't think the creators of that program really understood what they were doing. I think they just sat down and they're like, okay, I'm going to increase the reps by this or that every week. But I don't think they understood the concept of power is equivalent to strength and speed. They were just kind of focused on some theory called, I don't, what was it called? The kangaroo effect, that like the more repetitions you do and the more your muscles and body gets used to jumping, the higher you're going to jump. Which is, I don't know, that doesn't really make sense. But anyways, I did the program for 5 weeks, and I saw great results because the reps was still fine, and I was new to plyometrics, so this was an absolute shock to my body. This is training I've never done. So yeah, 3 times a week for 5 weeks, extreme leg burns, and I think it was around the 4th week we did basketball for one of the PDHP classes at school, and there was this rim. It was a little bit lower, and like before I started the program, I'd always try to, I guess, jump and touch it, but I'd be short by like a fair bit. And then that day, I was just curious because I've done 4 weeks of this program. I'm like, let's see what the deal is. So I run up, I jump, bam! Like I slapped that ring, like I really touched it. And everyone saw it, like, oh shit, man! Like that's a high jump. So that's what I knew. I'm like, wow, like something I've been doing, like this training, which I haven't been doing before, it's working. It's helping me to jump higher. So, there's something in this training that's effective to use, I guess, these techniques. So that's when I started looking more into plyometrics and all sorts of training and stuff. I didn't continue aero, obviously, because the reps were like way too high, and I knew it was just like I was busy with school and stuff, but that wasn't really the excuse. It was more just the program. It just seemed unfeasible. Yeah. So I got to that mark, and then I guess I kept playing. I played basketball a lot. I enrolled in the school team. We played competitions and stuff. And yeah, like every so often I'd go back and touch that ring, and I'd be a little bit higher. My fingertips would just reach a little bit higher. Not extreme gains after that point. Like I was saying, from week 0 to week 4, I made, I don't know, it was some shocking gains with my vertical just to touch that rim. And after that, I'd have little slow, steady ones. And yeah, I don't know if I did another program that year. I don't think I did. I was just doing like a bit of strength training and playing basketball a lot. So, and also I was still into competitive tennis. So my vertical kept sort of increasing because I was training harder, unintentionally, because I guess I was just playing and jumping a lot. But yeah, so the next year, I remember I stumbled across another program which was called the Jump Manual, and that was a pretty cool program. Like the reps were all very the reps were all very practical and not too high compared to error alert. So I figured that this program made a lot more sense and there were some great exercises in it. So I think I did that for like 5 or 6 weeks or so. And I got some gains from it, but I didn't get the same gains as I got from error alert. I did increase some inches, but it wasn't like when I just went from not training to doing plyometrics and then getting those crazy gains. I think I got those gains honestly because my body was, I guess, shocked to the whole concept of plyometrics. So yeah, jump manual, I did it. The reps were fine, but what I realized is the sessions were too long. Um, the workout sessions were way too saturated. There was way too many exercises that had to be done. Like some workouts had like 7 or 8 different exercises and like 4 or 5 sets each, and that was just too much. Like it's like error alert. Too high reps, and this one was like too many exercises. So I'm like, yeah, it's good, but these sessions were going for like 2.5 hours, and by the last 2 exercises, I'd be so fatigued. My jumps weren't proper. They weren't at full force. So I knew there was an issue with it. I knew that if I was to create a program, I would cut down those last 2 to 3 exercises, just so I could maintain that explosiveness throughout my workout, which is very crucial and important with jump training. You don't want to start doing half-ass reps where you can't, produce the power that you want to. So, did a bit of jump manual, got a little bit of gains from that. Kept going, kept playing basketball, and so 2012 comes midway through the year, and I've learned a lot. I've watched a lot of videos about dunking. I've watched a lot of videos about different exercises to do to increase your vertical. So I got a nice list of all these different plyometric exercises to use, and basically I broke them down into different sessions. I put 5 exercises per session. I'd go like 4 sets each, and I'd mix it up. So I probably did that for like 5 weeks, and again, I saw really, really great gains. Like during those workouts, I made sure that I was explosive on each rep. I made sure the reps weren't too high. Made sure the sessions weren't too long. And while I was doing that, I was also training at the gym. I was getting my bench press, my squat, my deadlift up, and those two complement each other very well. So 2012 mid-year is the first time I think I touched a 10-foot rim. So I jumped. This was this was like one of the competitions. So we were just warming up. I did a few laps around the court, did some stretches, whatever. And then I jumped, and this was a regulation 10-foot rim at a stadium. So I jumped up, I nailed it. I touched it pretty easily. So that's when I knew, okay, like I'm improving. I'm getting more gains. These plyometrics I'm doing are very, very effective. So I think I did a few more weeks of those plyos. Things stabled out. It's not like I gained another 4 inches for the other 4 weeks I did. But, it got me to that point. Now I was easily touching a 10-foot rim. So 2012, easily touching a 10-foot rim. So that was a huge achievement for me. So because I calculated my reach, I knew my reach was like, I think 7'2" or something. I'm not that tall and stuff. I don't have long arms. But I calculated how many inches it took me to touch a 10-foot rim. So it was 34 inches. So that meant that my vertical was around 34 inches at that time. So pretty good achievement so far. Alright, so that sums up 2012. 2013. Let's get to 2013. I stumbled across another program. This time it's called the Vertical Jump Bible by some guy called Kelly. And this was a cool program. Like, he put a lot of effort into it. It was very informative. It talked about a lot of different areas. It gave the exercises were great. The repetitions were good. He had a beginners, intermediate, and advanced program. So, if I was to recommend a program, I would definitely recommend that one. That was a great program. So, that's definitely worth checking out, the Vertical Jump Bible. So I did that really consistently in 2013, and I combined that also with strength training at the gym. So I would have 2 days of strength training at the gym, and I do 2 days of the Vertical Jump Bible. And obviously the strength days incorporated heavy squats, deadlifts, calf raises, stuff like that. So, and I did this really consistently for 8 to 10 weeks. So I think that's how long the program ran for. And I didn't see gains as soon as I finished the program. Maybe there was some fatigue involved or whatnot. But it was until a few weeks after, or maybe even like a month or two after, I saw some serious gains. Like it was this day I went to the courts just to relax a bit before one of my final exams for uni. Sorry, not uni. My year 12, year 12. I was in year 12, so high school certificate. So I brought this little volleyball because I have trouble gripping a basketball. My hands aren't that big, so I brought this volleyball. So I was shooting some hoops, and then I got warmed up. I was feeling good. I felt like my jump was good. So I grabbed this volleyball, and I'm able to grip it fully. And I go to the 10-foot rim. I run up, I jump, and I seemingly get really high. I've gotten a lot higher than I did in the past. So jump up. I know I'm high enough. I try to slam the ball in. The ball smacks the rim and just like flies off. So yeah, so I was excited after that exact moment. So I went back and tried, and second go, but I got it. I got that dunk, and I've actually posted that video a bit further down on my page. You can see it's with a volleyball and it's a 10-foot rim dunk. So that was a big moment for me. It was a very solid dunk. I got a decent amount of clearance over that rim, and it was with force. It was with a lot of power. The whole system shook. Like I could have heard it too. So yeah, I would say that probably was close to the peak of, I guess, my vertical jump experience. And I knew at that time I was somewhere around the 36, 37 inch mark, I would say. So yeah, I would say that was the last proper vertical jump program I committed to. And after that, I was consistently training at the gym. I was doing a lot of upper body exercises, probably focusing more on bodybuilding but also powerlifting at the same time. We do different powerlifting programs. We do bodybuilding programs, and we'd make sure we were very strict to our leg days, our strength days for legs. So we'd have plyometrics incorporated. We'd have box jumps. We'd have what else did we do? Oh, I would just do vertical jumps in the gym. There was this high point I would try to touch. We did explosive calf raises, medicine ball slams, medicine ball throws. So we were still doing a lot of explosive training, but I wasn't focusing just on vertical jump. So all that training, say over the next year or 2 years, probably got me a few extra inches. So if I was to conclude what vertical I really got to, it was probably anywhere from 38 to 40 inches at its absolute peak. Had I continued to focus on it past that point, would I get any higher? Definitely. Obviously, if you keep training, you will keep increasing it. I probably went close to I guess there is something known as the genetic limit, so I probably was coming close to it, but of course, had I continued squatting heavier, had I continued incorporating plyos, whilst at the same time maintaining my body weight, that's very important. Increasing weight but maintaining your body weight, that's definitely going to mean an increase in explosive power. So yeah, I would have definitely gained a few inches, but yeah, that was my experience so far with vertical jumping. That's the peak I reached. So 2014, 2015 sorry, 2014, 2015-ish. I would have been around that 38 to 40 inch mark. And yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was a big achievement for me, someone being 5'9" and never really playing the sport growing up, and then just somehow over a few years of training and passion and commitment, I just got some solid gains in my vertical jump. So that was a huge achievement, a huge mark for me to be able to dunk on a 10-foot rim. Because when I was little and I just walk in basketball courts and I'd see these tall people dunking, I'd be like, oh, this is not for me. This is for the tall guys. And everyone else in my family thought it's for the tall guys. And until I started doing it, it kind of opened up everyone's eyes. So yeah, that's basically my experience with that. So let's move on now to my live stream from the other day. So basically, if you guys missed it, I went on Instagram Live. Yeah, and I spoke about basically, in my opinion, the 10 best plyometric exercises which I believe helped me to increase my vertical. These were the staple exercises of my training. I made sure every program that I made for myself included these exercises, I guess along with a few others. But if I was to pick 10, I would say that these 10 really helped me out a lot. So yeah, let's go through them quickly. So I'm just going to open up my page quickly, guys, so I can have a look at the exercises I posted. Just bear with me for a second. Okay. Just refresh. Alright, so the first one I posted, which is very important, is depth jumps. So the reason why depth jumps is important is because I guess it trains you against gravity. You're basically dropping off a platform and exploding up. So it's adding extra resistance. It's not like your normal jump when you're starting on the floor, you're just jumping up. This exercise is taking some shock from, I guess, your muscles. You're learning how to absorb shock and land from your jump, but at the same time, you're learning how to explode back up from it. So the idea is to explode back up off the ground as quick as possible with this exercise. You don't want to be taking time. And obviously, the quicker you're able to explode back up, the more athletic you are, or the better your vertical jump is probably going to be. So over time, the idea is to increase the height of the platform you're jumping, I guess, dropping off from, as that in turn will be obviously increasing the resistance too. Because it's the higher your platform is, you're going to see the harder it is to really explode off that ground. And also, the higher you go up, you're going to find that your vertical jump is going to not be as high as it was, say, on the lower platforms. So yeah, it's a great exercise. You know, if you guys want to read more into the science of it and all, then yeah, definitely go ahead. But it's definitely an exercise that I've been using, and I've been doing 4 sets of 6 reps. You don't want to go too high with this exercise, because, like I said, after you hit a certain amount of reps, you're training your muscular endurance, and that's not what you want to do for your vertical jump. It's all about explosive power and ability. So 4 sets, 6 reps is a good mark. If you want to challenge yourself, keep increasing the box or platform by a decent amount, or you can add a hurdle in front of it, and you can aim to jump over that hurdle too. So there's a lot of interesting variations to this exercise, and also ways to make it harder for yourself. Okay, so next we have, sorry, where did it go? Next I said squat jumps. Squat jumps is a very important staple exercise. It's one of the first exercises I started doing when I was doing Air Alert. And the squat is, it's the building block of all leg exercises at the gym. So you can see why the squat jump, which is just a variation to the squat, has its important benefits. So squat jumps, I recommend 4 sets of 10 repetitions. Be explosive as you can on each rep. Don't drop too fast. Drop at a nice balanced out pace. But when you explode up, you want to explode up as high and as powerfully as you can. So yeah, 4 sets of 10 reps is good for that. Broad jumps. Now, broad jumps, like I said, that's an exercise that's tested in the NFL. So it's definitely a test of, it's not just vertical power, but it's horizontal power too, because you're jumping for distance, not so much height here. But you are incorporating, obviously, the same explosive muscles as you will for your vertical jump. So broad jumps is a great exercise. So I would suggest marking a cone for your starting position, and yeah, seeing how far out you can jump. Make sure you incorporate the arm swing. The arm swing is very important for it. It definitely helps to generate some power and momentum. And find the position which you land at, mark it, and keep repeating that. 4 sets, 6 repetitions is good for that. Also, with this exercise, make sure you find a good amount of space to do it, because you definitely need some room if you're jumping pretty far. So find a nice open space, I'd say, or even if you got a decent space in your backyard, that should do. Next exercise, we've got tape hurdles. So I demonstrated all of these in the live stream. So tape hurdles, basically, I got 2 chairs, I just put a tape between it, and you just want to, basically just jump over that barrier or that tape. So for this, I want you to do 4 sets of 6 repetitions. It's a great exercise. You'll definitely feel your abs or your core burn the next day, because each rep is basically, it's almost like a crunch. When you bring up your knees to your stomach, you're mimicking the ab crunch exercise. So you will feel it in your abs. It's a great exercise, great for explosive power. So I want 4 sets of 6 reps for tape hurdles. Okay, next is medicine ball launches. Medicine ball launches are a great exercise because, especially in helping your standing vertical jump, because think about what you're doing. You're holding a weight, a medicine ball, and you're trying to throw it up vertically as high as you can, whilst also you're trying to jump too. So that motion is basically mimicking a standing vertical, but you're adding resistance to it. So it's going to increase tension on your body and your muscles. So over time, it will definitely help you increase that standing vertical jump, especially if you keep adding. If you get stronger and stronger, you can keep adding weight to the medicine ball, and yeah, it's a great exercise. But also make sure you have a decent amount of space for it, because if you're doing it in your backyard and you start chucking the medicine ball around, you're probably going to lose it at your neighbor's backyard. So find an open space. Medicine balls are expensive. You don't want to be just losing them for no reason. So find an open space to do the exercise, and 4 sets of 8 reps is a good mark for it. Okay, so let's move on from that. Lateral bounds. So lateral bounds are pretty similar to, I guess, the broad jump, except it's kind of on a side to side motion, not a front to back. So yeah, so what I mean is you're jumping to the side, you're not jumping forward exactly. So lateral bounds, same idea. Mark 2 positions with a cone which you think you can reach. Use that arm swing, jump laterally to that cone, break for a second, jump back, and 4 sets of 8 repetitions is a good mark for that exercise. Next we have cone hops. So cone hops is one of those exercises to work on more of your ankle power, target your calf muscles, your anterior tibialis, which is the front muscle, I guess, near your shin bone. So with this exercise, you don't want to be braking. You want to be jumping over that cone consecutively. As soon as you jump over it, you want to jump back. So you can do it with 2 feet. If you want to challenge yourself more, you do it with 1 foot. You can go side to side. You can go front to back. You can do all sorts of variations, but make sure, first of all, that you're clearing that cone. If it's too high, reduce the goal height. And also that as soon as you land, you're exploding back and coming back to that starting position. So you want to do these consecutively so you can really strengthen up your ankles and your calf muscles, because like I was saying in the live stream, that's really where the starting motion of your vertical jump will be. You're really pushing off those ankles, so you want to make sure your ankles are as strong as possible and can generate as much power too. And also flexibility. This will help with increasing the flexibility of that ankle region, because they tend to be very tight and also very ignored. People tend to ignore your ankles and believe that they don't have so much influence in your vertical, whereas they're really important with the plantar flexion and dorsiflexion movement. So I think plantar flexion is when you point your toes down, and dorsi is when you point it up. And that's what you're doing when you're taking off. You're pointing down as fast and hard as you can, and just before you point down, you're basically pointing them up as you're doing your run up motion. So you can see all of these if you watch YouTube videos about vertical jump technique. All the different great vertical jump trainers out there will explain these things and give a more detailed scientific explanation than what I'm doing. But I'm just trying to keep it simple for you guys. You know, the information's out there. I don't want to bloat you guys with information, and that goes also back to my program, which I'll talk about a bit later. So anyways, let's go to the next, 4 sets of 10 reps for cone hops is what I want. Okay, next exercise, simple practice jumps. You know, regardless of all these great plyos that you're doing, at the end of the day, you have to keep practicing your vertical jump. You can't ignore it. That is the motion that you're trying to do. You're trying to increase your vertical jump. So you got to keep practicing your jump, you know. Think of it as its own different plyometric exercise, and it is, you know, jumping is part of plyometrics. So, but with this, it's important because, you know, you're perfecting your form, you're getting better at your technique, and also, you know, you're learning how to jump up straight as high as possible, because some people, you know, they tend to jump too much forward, they're losing a bit of height, and also when they're trying to dunk or touch the rim, they're too far away. So, you know, you got to keep practicing your jump. You got to find your sweet spot, which is, I guess, the area just under the rim where you can feel you can take off comfortably and, you know, knacker down that dunk as powerfully and as effective as you can. So, got to keep practicing your vertical jump. So 4 sets of 5 reps is what I recommend for this. Next we got jump rope, another great exercise to strengthen your ankles, your calf muscles, and increase explosive ability. So with jump rope, you're basically on your toes the whole time, which like I said is going to help strengthen your ankles and calves. So a great explosive exercise for working the lower part of your legs. And for this, I would recommend 4 sets, 30 seconds, as fast and hard as you can. So let's move on from that. Yeah, final exercise is the plank. You know, core is very neglected when it comes to your vertical, but your core or your trunk, it keeps your whole body locked in or together, so that you're not, like I said, also with wasting height. You know, if your body's tending to lean to one side because you got imbalances or your core's not that strong, you're going to be wasting height on your vertical. So your core is definitely going to keep all those muscles working together or in synchronization. So got to get a strong core. Strong core is so essential to increase your vertical, because as you say, when you're in mid-air, if you ever saw a photo of someone shirtless, you'd see that their core muscles are really prominent. They're really sticking out because the core is doing a lot of work during that vertical jump motion. So never neglect the core. So a great core exercise I chose here is the basic plank. You know, you just lie down horizontally on the ground, pop your body up, pop your butt up, and also, yeah, just hold that position, hold it firmly. You're going to shake a bit, that's alright, everyone shakes during the plank. And I recommend 4 sets of 30 to 60 seconds. Of course, if you're very, very advanced and you've been doing calisthenics for a long time, you can choose your time frame for it. You can see what works for you. So that's just my general recommendation. Of course, everything can be individualized to tailor your needs. So yeah, that's the 10 exercises that I talked about on my live stream, which I believe were the most effective in helping me increase my vertical. There's also a lot of other ones too that are similar to these exercises. Like, I guess I left out lunge jumps and chair rockets and all these other exercises. All those exercises will be put in my vertical jump program, which will be called the Elevate Jump Program Phase 1. So let's get into that now. You know, we just talked about the 10 different exercises. So let's talk a bit about my program. I just created all the workouts yesterday. So the program, let me just open the document quickly. The program is going to run for 8 weeks, and each week there will be 3 different workout sessions. And there's going to be 6 different workouts. So basically you want to space your workouts out so you have enough time to recover. I use the rough guide. I said to do your workouts Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. That's a good guide. That gives you enough break. So on Mondays, there's a certain workout to do. It's called workout 1, Wednesdays workout 2, and Saturdays workout 3. So in all your odd weeks, for those 3 days of the week, so basically week 1, week 3, week 5, week 7, you're going to be doing workouts 1, 2, 3. In your even weeks, which is weeks 2, 4, 6, 8, there's a different 3 workouts that you're going to be doing. So those are workouts 4, workouts 5, and workout 6. So all those workouts are written up. The repetitions are very practical to do. The exercise amounts are not extremely high. I've got 5 exercises per session. Some sessions only have 4. So, you have enough time to recover, and you'll also be able to focus on being as explosive and as powerful in each repetition of those workouts. So, and that's really what you want to target to increase your verticals. So, this is a great program because I've put, how many have I got here? I've got 28 different exercises which I was doing. I basically done all of these when I was training, and yeah, they all worked very well. So I'm expecting you guys to get some very solid gains from this program if you follow it properly. It's gonna have, so let's get into the contents page, a bit of the sections which I'm gonna be incorporating in this program. So, like I said before, I'm not going to bloat this program with tons of information and different parts about jumping and the science behind the vertical and all of its history. It's not necessary. Every program's done it before. You can read these articles by yourself if you really want to know the history of vertical jumping, and also an in-depth analysis of the science behind it. Like, I've posted plenty of things about form, technique, and the science on my page, so you can scroll down, see that. You can go on YouTube, find other trainers who have posted videos about that. I'm going to post videos about that in the future on my channel. But this program specifically, I want to keep it simple. I don't want you guys to read 50 plus pages where you're going to get bored, and I know what everyone's going to be doing. They're just going to go, yeah, they'll read the first 2 pages, they'll read the intro, they're all going to skip to the workout program. That's not what I want. I want you guys to read every bit of this program, and for that reason, I'm going to make it very short. I'm going to try to keep it like 10 pages at most. If it goes a little bit over, fine, but I'm going to keep it very short and concise. I'm going to keep the paragraphs a bit brief. I'm going to keep the English very simple to read. Anyways, let's go through what I'm going to be adding in this program. So I'm going to put a bit of an introduction, which is going to tell you about actually I've done that already. It's just going to tell you about what this program is and what it's hoping to achieve by the completion of it. So after the intro, I'm going to put a very brief part on diet and supplementation, basically what you want to be eating. Or I'm not going to be putting a list of all the healthy foods, but I'm going to give some examples. I'm going to say, I'm going to talk a bit about, I guess, macronutrients, a bit about protein, carbs, fats, and also what kind of diet and what kind of foods you want to be looking for, and I guess also calorie intake in order to stay in good shape, keep a low body fat, which is extremely essential in getting gains from programs like this, and also just becoming a better athlete. You really need to keep that body fat low. You don't want excess weight to hold you back. Alright, so after that brief part on diet and supplementation, I'm gonna put a video link to me basically demonstrating each exercise. I'm going to put a written description too. So I'm going to introduce you to all 28 plyometric exercises that are going to be included in the Elevate program. After that, I'm going to put a little bit of info on the workout program, just so I can explain things more clearer to you, so there's no confusion. I know what the common frequently asked questions are when it comes to these workout programs, so I'll just put a bit of info just explaining the program to you guys, and yeah, I guess it ties back on the intro, also what you're trying to achieve in it, a bit about the sets and repetitions, also what you want to be doing when you're warming up and cooling down, also general info about how much you want to rest between each set. If you're feeling really sore, should you do that next workout? Should you take a longer break? So I'll put a bit of info about all those areas here. Just give a general explanation about the workout program. The next session will be the warm up. So I'll give you guys I would say a 15 to 20 minute dynamic warm-up you can be doing before each workout session. That's very important to get your muscles and your body, get blood flowing, get your heart rate up a bit. Dynamic warm-ups are very important to prevent injury. So I'm going to give you guys a nice sample dynamic warm-up you can be using before these workouts. Next session, the workout program table. So that's what I want you guys to follow. You can print a separate document from it. You can cut it out from the book if you guys want to buy a hard copy, I guess. Or yeah, just stick it up on your wall. I'll put like a tick box or checkbox list after each week, so you guys can tick off each week that you've done and see your progress. Then that will also be an 8-week program, so I'll make a nice table for that. So after that, we got the cool down. I'll give you guys a sample cool down, which I used to do just to get the body nice and cooled down from the workout session. And what do we got after that? Okay, after the cool down, I'm just going to put a small section on some basic important tips which you guys should be doing in order to jump higher. So I'll talk a bit about like recovery, what you want to do in your workouts, what you want to do in your off days, how often you want to practice your jump, all sorts of general information, and just some tips which I found very effective that helped me jump higher over the years of training. Alright, so we've got that. Next is just a basic conclusion. Then I'm going into the frequently asked questions, or FAQs. And then we've got finally looking onto phase 2. So this program will be followed by another program, and that program will also incorporate some basic weight training exercises that you will be doing along with your plyometrics. And if you guys already have like a weight training routine, it's fine to add this exercise or plyometrics to it. But this program is more tailored towards people who, I guess, are just getting into the vertical jumps. I know a lot of you guys are very young on my page, so obviously I don't want you guys just to jump into heavy weight training straight away. I want you to mature a bit, grow properly. So plyometrics is a great weight-free way to build up your explosive power. So yeah, phase 2 will incorporate more weight and stuff, so that will come out a little bit later. For now, I'm just working on this program, so I'll put plenty of information about that once this one's done. But yeah, that's basically it. That's the Elevate Jump program, which I'm hoping to be releasing in a few weeks. I'm going to be putting it up on Amazon Kindle. That's what I signed up for yesterday. I'm going to put it at a very cheap, low, affordable price, so everyone can have good access to it and that it's financially feasible too. So I want everyone to benefit from it. And also, I will put a few promotions up. I'll let you know about this further on my page. But after these promotions start, for the first 10 people that DM me, I'm going to give a certain code to use. When you DM me that code, I'm going to give those first 10 people a nice free giveaway of the Elevate Jump program phase 1. So they're going to get a free copy of it. So yeah, I want all you guys to stay tuned on what I'll be doing, posting on my page. Stay tuned with Howtodunk. Stay tuned with the YouTube channel, which I'm hoping to post more on. The Elevate podcast, which is what I'm recording now for SoundCloud. So keep following me, tell your friends about it, and make sure to watch out for that promotion. When that promotion starts, I'll let you guys know. And the first 10 people who DM me in my inbox, or send me an email to howtodunk25@gmail.com, and you're going to have to send me that code, and you will get a free copy of the Elevate Jump program. So watch out for that, guys. And yeah, I'll provide everyone with plenty of information about when I'm planning to release the program, and yeah, when it's going to be up. So I hope this program all helps you guys. Like I said, I'm adding the exercises which have really helped me over the years. So I'm going to put a lot of effort into making this program. I'm going to keep it simple too, so it's not over bloated like I told you guys, so you guys can all, comfortably read it. And yeah, so subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my SoundCloud, the Elevate podcast. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone who wants to jump higher, anyone who wants to build muscle, or just elevate and become a better person in life in all areas. Tell them about my page, tell them to follow me. I've got a lot of more live streams coming up, so I'll try my best to keep everyone engaged. I want you guys to keep interacting with me, with my page, keep coming in the live streams, keep watching out for all these posts. There's a lot to learn. I've got a lot of experience, so in all areas basically. So yeah, keep a lookout for my page, guys, and really appreciate your company for whoever's listening to this podcast. And I'll see you guys for podcast 6.